Going all the way back to April of 2019, I bought one of the original RENPHO Bluetooth wireless scales, and that one has stayed with me all the way till today, where I decided to purchase the upgraded version of that exact same scale. The main difference with this one is it is rechargeable. There are some other differences on the main screen, but that is the main reason I got it, as I didn't want to pay for any more AAA batteries for my scales. Now, I also bought the original one because the price was around $30, and this one actually comes around the same thing all the way in 2025. So I'm going to go and jump into the scale, kind of go over all the aspects of it, show you the app. That way you can decide if this newer version or even the old version is a good option for you. And in the end, if you do decide to actually purchase anything from RENPHO, I was able to reach out for them, and they provided a 10% discount code off anything on their store page if you use it on the RENPHO site. So you can use code GAMERBODY at checkout of their page in order to save that 10%. So for me, I actually bought this off Amazon.com, as I hadn't even reached out to RENPHO yet to try and get that code. But at the time on Amazon, the scale was $29.99 with a 15% discount coupon that they have. So you might actually be able to save more money if you get on Amazon, depending on the timing. But with that, the final price after the coupon came out to $27.73. Now, the unboxing for this is very straightforward. You get the scale, of course, that you stand on. You'll also get a USB-C charger, USB to USB-C, I should say, charger. And then you also get your warranty and instruction manual. So super duper easy to get going. Now, there is a newer app than what I was using with my older scale. So I actually, when I started setting it up, it had me or directed me to the newer app to install. That way I could use the device. Now, before jumping into all of the app features, the scale itself is 11 inches long by 11 inches wide with a 1-inch height. And lastly, this scale can hold anyone up to 396 pounds, and it goes up in increments of 0.2 pounds when you use it. So just know when you are standing on it, it's always going in increments up and down of 0.2 pounds. Now, there is one noticeable upgrade with this scale, and that is when you stand on it, it actually cycles through 3 different stats. So you get your weight, you get your BMI, and you get your body fat percentage all on the device, where before it only showed my weight. So this is kind of a nice little upgrade. If you don't want to go and update or open the app itself, you can get it right on screen here. Personally, I really don't care about BMI at all, as it's not a great thing for me to use. Since I have some muscle mass, it's really only good for the average individual who doesn't work out. And then body fat, while it's nice to see on the device, isn't really always that accurate with these devices. But again, it's kind of a nice little upgrade. I wasn't able to see if I could switch it to anything else. I think that'd be cool if I could like swap it to some other stat to display on there, but maybe that's a thing that either I missed or they can enhance it in a later product. All right, so with that, I'm gonna open my phone here and we're gonna jump right into the RENPHO app so I can go over what that looks like with you. So looking over the main page of the app, you will see that you have a dashboard. You can see the devices connected to it at this time onto the app. So I have the ES30M, the old one is the ES20M, but with that, you can see you have 3 kind of different sections. You have a health, fitness, and nutrition. My fitness and nutrition are actually being used right now, but I can add to them. But just know you see the main items on the main dashboard. The old one was a little bit better in terms of like just immediately seeing all of the stats, which were 13 different track things. But if I click in here, you'll see that I also get a graph of things like my weight. So this kind of gives you like a standard dashboard. Yes, you can actually change what's on this dashboard by clicking the little filter icon on the right. And you can see you get like weight, body fat percentage, blah, blah, blah. But you also can do like blood pressure, calorie intake, calories, distance, and number of rope skipping. So they do also sell a jump rope for you if you want to expand into the RENPHO products. But if I click on one here, like blood pressure, and I go back, we should see it come up in a second once it adds it over. So it adds at the bottom here, so you can see blood pressure and then some of the data in it. I believe I can also add, so if I go back to that filter option on the side and we do things like calories or calorie intake, show more, I can do like protein and carbs. Now if I backtrack here, you can then click on the, I believe, nutrition tab, and here you can see the calories that you're tracking as well. Now this does sync with a couple different health apps, so it's compatible with Apple Health, Google Fit, Fitbit, which is the one I personally like to use, Samsung Health, and MyFitnessPal. If you use any of those, you can sync between the 2 devices, all of that information. So that might be something you want to look into. I probably won't care about this. I'll mostly just use it for the main dashboard here, as well as tracking some of the measurements or body stat tracking items, which are 13 different stats that this looks at. All right, so with that, let's take a look at everything that this can track in terms of those 13 stats. So this is again what I mainly use the original for, but if I click on the start measurement under the weight category, it takes me to the main stats, which I can kind of, again, go through here. It shows me the two main ones at the top that I look at. So we have weight and body fat. And then if we scroll down, you get your total kind of body composition items. So I do have things like my total loss goals and all that, blah, blah, blah. Again, I really don't use that app for this. What I just do is I stand on, I take a quick look at it, see if anything's like in or really out of what it was before, and I kind of go from there. It's just a way for me to stand on and then see trends over time that things are moving in the right direction. So for me, when I did this, again, back on, I think it was April 9th when I took this, 199.6 pounds. This is pretty high for me normally, with like 15.9% body fat. And then you can see all of the items here. Now the total list of them I have here for you. So if you want to get everything on here, you have weight, BMI, body fat percentage, body water, skeletal muscle, fat body weight, muscle mass, bone mass, protein, basal metabolism, visceral fat, subcutaneous fat, and body age are all of the main items. You can click on this bottom thing. You can sort them by holding it. If you hold them down, you can click and drag them, move them around, and maybe you want them higher up, but I'm going to leave this for now. Just know you can move them if you want to, and then you can set up goals. You can see history. So you can click back through the history of this stuff here, so you can see all the times. So I did it twice on this day. You can kind of see the history and then trends of things. So you can click through the different items. You can see Wednesday, so you can see all my tracking here. Maybe actually did go further back. Oh, so some of this did actually come through. So you see back on January 25th. So I was wrong. It did actually bring it over. I just have to actually go into the section to see it. So I actually have to go into those older trends to see that data. Interesting. That's cool. All right, so it did actually bring it over. So my mistake, that actually did come over in the app. So things to know. So I haven't gone through a ton of this app. It's really just, again, the basics. I just stand on it. I see what comes up here, and I'm pretty good to go. So if you want to dive deeper into this app, you can. So if we do like body fat percentage, again, it brings you to the same page for this one. Let's see if the last one's any different. No data for the blood pressure. So all that stuff is available on it. Now I can click on the device. So again, you can see the one I'm using. You can add another device if you want. I believe you can have unlimited users on this as well, which is really cool. And then you can also do the community. This probably just brings up a bunch of just articles and stuff. Again, I don't care about people typing things in here. I don't use this at all, but if you want to jump into the community, you can do that. And then you have me. So I might blur some of these pieces out while we're in the video, but just know that in here, you can see your friends. So I have no friends on here. I'm not cool. But if I go back, you can give feedback. You can set up Bluetooth stuff, the apps that you can connect to. So again, you have those 5 main apps: Health Connect, Google Fit, Fitbit, Samsung Health, and MyFitnessPal. Don't know why MyFitnessPal is connected and not Fitbit, because I actually don't use MyFitnessPal. And I need to reconnect Fitbit because I haven't done so, but I'll do that later. They can do settings. So you can go through all your settings on how you want to have it set up. And that pretty much rounds it out. And then your account details, I'm not going to click on there because it has my info, but that's pretty much all you need for that section too. You can also do your own personal information on that page. Sorry if I blur out most of this, as it is my personal information. But otherwise, that's pretty much the app. Again, pretty similar to the other one, but you can do all those pieces. The one thing I did leave out for you is that you can also take measurements. So let me see if I can find it. So it took a little longer than I wanted, but in here, you can also see the information I put in here. This hasn't been updated in a long time, so I need to go back and actually edit this. But you can actually go through all of the different pieces here, and I'm going to rattle it off real quick. These are all the things you can track yourself. Do note RENPHO does sell an automatic tape measure that when you use it, it syncs the data over here. I did notice mine's actually about 0.6 inches off. So I actually put it on an Excel sheet and it updates so it puts in that value for me. But if you don't care about that, you just want to do a quick thing, they do sell it and it does sync by Bluetooth to the app, and you can do it very quickly there. But you can do neck, shoulder, biceps, right and left, chest, waist, abdomen, hip, thigh, right and left, and calf, right and left. There's also 6 different custom ones you can add. So I'll probably go in here and add in forearms, as I do track that as well. I did in my old one, but you have to add it custom. But then you can also see your waist-hip ratio and kind of see where that falls. Mine's on the lower end right now, so I need to get it more in the standard range, closer to 1. Actually, again, this is old data, so maybe it's better now. But do know you can also track all your body stats in here as well. All right, so that pretty much rounds out the app portion of this. So overall, my thoughts on the upgraded scale is it's awesome. It's very, very similar to the original. The main differences are kind of upgrades on what the original had. I actually like the app a bit less because I just kind of like jumping into the app, the original one, quickly and seeing it all in my face. I didn't have to click into anything. It was all just right there. But I think I can get over that as long as this one works and is able to be recharged without me needing to go out and buy batteries, because batteries are actually getting pretty expensive. So if I don't need to buy them, that's nice. I can just recharge it using some of my wall chargers. Now I do also have a separate wall charger I use in order to charge these a bit quicker. I'll put it, I think it's like an Anchor charger. I'll put it in the description if you want to look at that one. That's links up to the USB side of it. But overall, this is, I think, a nice little upgrade. It's, again, only $30, so not too bad for a scale. There are other ones that are coming out that are really expensive. Even RENPHO makes one where you hold the handles, and it's very, very expensive, but I might check that out in the future. But if you are looking for a very simple scale that gives a bit more insight into your body stats, even if they are a little off, I think this one is a good price range for something that can give you a little bit more detail on what's currently going on with your body. Also, make sure that you are setting it to athlete or standard mode based on how active you are. I've always had it on athlete mode because I do work out every single week, and I was an athlete in the past, not so much anymore at 34, but I just left it in athlete mode. I just keep it on that way to keep things consistent. But overall, really think it's a good price for this device and something that you can look into if you're looking for a decent scale in order to track your personal body stats.